Bitcoin primed for its next leg up. What are 4 altcoins I have insane confidence in over the next few months and into 2024. As you can see, Bitcoin is playing out the perfect breakout of the neckline, exactly as we predicted. I share daily updates with you guys on Twitter, in our Telegram, plus on these videos as well. And you're seeing this perfect breakout, which is setting Bitcoin up to potentially mount an attack at 45.7. That would deliver a higher high. And we know when Bitcoin starts to move, many altcoins start to move as well. It's a really exciting moment in the market. I mean, you guys have seen, if you've been following me on Twitter, not only have I been providing you guys the TA updates of exactly what's going on, but there have been a lot of hype around crypto from institutions. Yes, first we had Bitwise posting a commercial yesterday. Then they posted another one mentioning Satoshi as well. We also had others such as Hashdex posting commercials, and I've never ever, like I said here, seen in all my time as much mainstream hype around crypto. Like, we are so ready right now, we are so back, and that is why altcoins are really starting to see a pump. Now in this video I'm going to break down the 4 altcoins I just cannot ignore. I cannot ignore these 4 altcoins, and I would not feel confident going into the next bull run without these coins in my bag. So I'm going to break that down. You guys smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you appreciate these updates. Even during the festive period, I will not miss a day for you guys. I'm going to give you these updates as and when it matters. Smash up the likes and support the content. Now we're going to kick off. We know Bitcoin is looking good here. I don't need to explain this to you guys again. This is called a breakout, confirmation, retest, and now you look set up to go post that higher high. And with that comes the momentum in altcoins. And the first one is the obvious one. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. The first one I feel like I do not have enough of is Ethereum. And I made this video just over a week or so ago. I posted a video saying I do not have enough Ethereum, and I continue to feel the same way. This is a project that we know from the beginning of crypto. Once Bitcoin starts to move and then look for other places to go, where does that money go? It goes to Ethereum, who is the de facto best first-in-class smart contract platform. And there's still no competition close to it just yet, right? Yes, we have ambitions for other projects, including some of the ones I'm going to mention later in this video to start competing with Ethereum. But right now, where we sit, let's be honest, Ethereum is still the daddy of smart contract platforms. And we're sitting here on Ethereum at 2,200. You can see a nice movement here from the bottoms, right? Just like the rest of the crypto market, you can see Ethereum's had a nice move here since October. Let's just take the measured move. So you can see we're at least 47% up here on Ethereum. Now, the question really is, the more exciting question is, where can we go here on Ethereum? I mean, we're nowhere near our zero level. Ethereum never even touched it during this bear market. Once it bounced here in June of 2022, it kept itself in the upwards trend, which is very, very strong. Looking at the golden Fibonacci pocket, 3,300 to 3,500 Ethereum, for me, is but an inevitability. I also happen to believe that the all-time high of Ethereum knocking on the door of 5,000 is also an inevitability, right? I just think this bull market is going to be so explosive with the institutional adoption from the ETF excitement, from monetary policy easing as well. I really do think this is going to be an explosive bull market, and I think all-time highs across the board for good, solid projects will be eclipsed. That's my personal view, of course, not financial advice. So that's where I'm looking at that at 5,000. I say that's not really too exciting either. Then I apply the Fibonacci golden extension, which, by the way, if you want to learn this stuff, ijazcrypto.com/TA, I walk through all this stuff, right? You can see that's a 7.3k Ethereum. And that's where things start to get a lot more juicy. I think that 7.3k up towards that 10k range on Ethereum is a really nice risk to reward play for me. When you're buying Ethereum, even at today's prices, even if you weren't DCAing beforehand, at 2,200 for a trade up to 7.3, 10,000, that's a risk to reward I like, particularly on the world's second biggest cryptocurrency. So for me, locked and loaded, Ethereum, I just cannot get enough. And it's always one of those projects where when it goes on its crazy run, which inevitably it will, once Bitcoin chills out, then I always feel like, I should have had more Ethereum. That's always how it's been in every cycle I've participated in. Next up, you guys aren't going to get a prize for guessing this one, and it's Phantom. Yep. As much as Phantom has had a bunch of stick here over the bear market, guess what? They survived. they're still around, right? They're still around and they're still doing well. And already now, you can see the price action here on Phantom bouncing really nicely. I mean, already you're up here 162% in just 9 weeks here on Phantom. Very, very impressive move to the upside. And just goes to remind you that once risk starts to rotate back on, people start looking for DeFi plays. And when that money starts to flow back into DeFi, we know Phantom is one of those solid places where DeFi starts to reside. If you look at the impressive move that Phantom had in the last cycle, it's because of DeFi, right? But equally, during the bear market, its DeFi completely collapsed. I mean, if I show you this chart, look at this. This is where Phantom was in the bull market. Now, I know a lot of projects collapse in DeFi, but Phantom was particularly hurt by this fall from that $8 billion mark in total value locked to now just 83 million in total locked being sat there on Phantom. But if you zoom in, you're starting to see this upward trend start to pick up again. Just reminds me of the early remnants of DeFi, and slowly the degens will come out to play and people will start looking for more riskier alternatives, and they will start participating in DeFi again. It's just the normal psyche of humans that when markets rotate out of a bear market mindset into a bull market mindset, they start searching for yield again. They start looking for places like Beefy, like Equalizer, like Beethoven X, all these things, Tomb Finance, these things will start to pick up again, right? Because people are searching for yield. Already you're seeing it with airdrops. Nobody was talking about airdrops for the last 6 months, and now suddenly everyone's like, yeah, we need to get into airdrops, we need to get back into airdrops. People are searching for risk and they want to get yield from it, okay? So we're rotating into a risk-on environment. And for me, Phantom continues to be there. The other thing which is really, really important for me in terms of why I hold Phantom, I've broken this down in numerous videos, I just feel like it's undervalued. If you go and look at the market cap to what you're getting in terms of technology, in terms of the team, Michael Kong, and particularly Andre Cronje being the godfather of DeFi, I think you're getting a really cheap price here. And that's the reason I like Phantom. When I look Phantom at a risk-adjusted basis, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. When you're looking at other projects which just jump into the top 20 in crypto and command crazy market caps, Phantom is always that reasonably priced project that for me poses a really good risk to reward. And again, let's look at what we're talking about, right? If we're going from current prices here and where we're at, up towards getting into the golden pocket, right? Getting into this golden pocket around $2.20 to $2.30, you're talking about a 4x on your money. Not too shabby. But again, I expect this to go and get to all-time highs. I expect Phantom, having survived the depths of a bear market, continuing to innovate, continuing to deliver their gas monetization program, which is going to attract a lot of good dApp developers, continue to work on their DeFi to bring in that money back into total value locked. Getting back to all-time highs here at around that $3.50 mark poses a 6.5x. Not too shabby whatsoever. But again, you can do even better, right? If you look at the Fibonacci golden extension, Phantom getting to a $5.50 target. Do I think that's out of the realms of, possibility? Absolutely not. And that poses more than a 10x here on Phantom. So again, Phantom is something I like to hold in my portfolio as a part of the layer 1 section of my portfolio. I wouldn't certainly not have this as a huge part of my portfolio. No, it's a very risky project. You're playing with a smaller market cap project compared to some of the others I'm sharing with you here today. But that being said, that's sometimes where you get the good risk to reward trades. So for me, Phantom is the other altcoin I want to be having in my portfolio. The next one is an interesting one, which some of you may not agree with, but it's Avalanche. And Avalanche is cousin technology to Phantom, right? Emin is one of the greatest minds in the crypto space. We know that. He's very educated. He knows what he's talking about from a tech perspective. Even Andre Cronje from Phantom has many times commended the setup and the build of Avalanche and the tech stack of Avalanche. And we know this is just moving from strength to strength. And again, this is a project which has just gone absolutely bonkers recently. If you look at this, this is a project which was not moving for a very long time. Throughout the bear market, it was in a downwards trend, right? Remember how I showed you Ethereum kept its upwards trend? It was in a downwards trend, just creating new lows, new lows, new lows, all the way up to this point where it was exactly at its naught level. And yet look at this, guys. Big movement here to the upside over just a handful of weeks, and now you're sitting at a 4x on Avalanche in just a couple of weeks. And this is why it's really important when you have projects which you like, which have solid tech, you just DCA. You ignore the naysayers, you ignore all the people telling you this project is dead. If you like the tech, if you like what they're building, and they're building what they say they're going to build, then that's how I build my conviction in a project. So really, really powerful move here from Avalanche. Broke straight through $21, now sitting at that $45 mark. And it's got clear skies, right? There's very little resistance, assuming Bitcoin continues its move. There's very little resistance here on Avalanche, all the way up, I hesitate to say, up towards $97, right? And this is a crazy, crazy project and not one I want to ignore. I mean, this has been as high as $145. And I remember when this was pumping up the upside, it was a solid project, a lot of advancements, a lot of developments. I mean, take a look at this. This is from Masari Crypto, right? One of the biggest research firms in crypto. They said the following: Avalanche is experiencing impressive growth over 131% in the past 30 days. This tweet's a little bit old. With institutional adoption of their subnets coming from financial giants like Citi and JP Morgan, Avalanche looks set to be the lead for legacy financial companies looking to enter the crypto ecosystem. Very, very important point here. So what they're saying is exactly that. They're saying, look, legacy providers like Citi, like JP Morgan, they know they need to adopt crypto, right? On the forefront, maybe they're saying, oh, crypto's a scam and all this, but in the background, they're scurrying to get to work on crypto. And Avalanche seems to be one of those places they want to onboard via, which is very, very interesting. And if you take a look at the transactions here on Avalanche as well, you can see it's spiked up, guys. This price hasn't spiked up for no reason. The transactions have spiked up. Look at this here. We were sat here on virtually nothing here in October, and then boom, now you're talking crazy levels of transactions, around 7 million transactions per day. I mean, that is absolutely insane. I mean, if you want to put that into context, we were talking about Phantom a little while ago. I mean, Phantom the other day on the 20th of December finished 1.23 million transactions. So we're talking about 5x the transactions that Phantom delivered on that day, which of course explains why it commands a higher market cap and price currently. Now, if you want to jump then back into the chains, where does Avalanche sit? Well, in terms of total value locked, they've got 352 protocols, right? So they're only really beaten by Arbitrum, Binance, and Ethereum, right? So they've got more than Tron, they've got more than Solana, they've got more than Optimism as well. Decent, right? Sat there in the top 10, sixth position, over total value locked close to $1 billion, right? Just shy of $1 billion in total value locked. Avalanche is really setting itself up for a powerful bull run. So definitely for me, Avalanche needs to be sat there in my portfolio. And so if I start to look at their Fibonacci extensions, and again, guys, if you want more insights like this throughout the day, and as I give alerts, ijazcrypto.com/TG is where you're going to get those. So huge bounce off of its zero level here for Avalanche. And in fact, let me just adjust this zero level here on Avalanche back to its new lows, and then you'll start to see the Fibonacci golden pocket gives you $96 to $100 here on Avalanche. Of course, given the rise up we've had just here recently, it doesn't look as exciting, right? But it's still a 2x to get into the golden pocket. More excitingly, what about all-time highs? What about getting to that $151? Again, I think solid projects like the ones I'm listing in this video will find it very comfortable getting back to all-time highs. We've got to understand, right now, the amount of money flowing into crypto is still off all-time highs, right? If you look at total market cap, we are sitting here at 1.61 trillion. A nice rise up from where we were. We were sitting at 700 billion. Now we're at 1.6 trillion. But still, we're far off the all-time highs of 3 trillion. And we expect a lot more money coming into crypto this year with spot ETFs, various institutions getting involved. And that's why when I look at things like Avalanche, I'm like, all-time highs, in my opinion, for solid projects are going to be very, very comfortable. What I'm more excited about is the Fibonacci golden extension, $238 here on Avalanche, which poses a really insane risk-adjusted return. I mean, this is a blockchain which could, if you play that out into the Fibonacci golden ratio, deliver another 4.5x from where it is currently. Okay, so we got Ethereum, we got Phantom, we got Avalanche. What am I going to wrap this video up with? And it's going to be, some of you love it, some of you hate it. It's Cardano. Yep, you may hate Cardano, but the fact of the matter is, this is a project I like. And I like to hold into a bull market. I mean, this is a project that can be frustrating. It can have moments where it just does not move. But again, it's bounced nicely off the bottoms, right? If you take the move here from its zero levels, we'll just take it just to where it is currently, and you're talking 150%. Not as much as Avalanche, not as much as some other projects, but nice solid bounces showing that it's alive and it's listing. Another very stable project led by Charles Hodgkinson. Again, one of the best minds in the crypto space, been around for cycles, right? Been around, and that's what you'll notice in common with the projects I'm picking. Look at all the projects I'm picking. Ethereum, Vitalik, right? Cardano, Charles Hodgkinson. Avalanche, Emin. If you look at a Phantom with Michael Kong, but more importantly, Andre Cronje. Right? I'm picking projects with proven leaders who operate in their team because I back the people more than I back the project. It's the people that build and deliver on the vision of the project. And then I see, okay, golden pocket ratio here for Cardano, $2 range. Okay, fine, not too shabby. Still about a 3.5, 4x. Can it get back to all-time highs? Again, I think it's going to eclipse all-time highs, guys. I think the $3 which it hit in the last cycle will be eclipsed, and that already, just to get back to all-time highs, is a 5x. So again, looking at risk-adjusted return to get to the Fibonacci golden ratio at that $5 mark looks like a nice bet for me, and that's one of the reasons I like to hold Cardano. As I've said in many of my videos, guys, Cardano is that hedge play for me. When other projects are moving fast and breaking things, it gives me peace of mind to have a bit of Cardano in my portfolio. Something that's doing it a little bit differently, right? They're focused on decentralization, they're focused on peer academic research reviews, taking their time, building things slowly. They're not pressurized by the community or Twitter or whatever else to launch a product half-baked and therefore have security flaws. They just do it at their own pace. And sometimes that's quite calming and reassuring to have in a portfolio where maybe you have other reckless projects, which who knows if they're going to survive another week, right? So that's one of the reasons I like to have Cardano in my project. So there you have it, guys. The 4 altcoins I'm set to hold and cannot have enough of going into 2024 with Bitcoin primed to have a big move ahead. Let me know in the comments which 4 projects are you insanely confident about. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.